Okay, we've been working down in a couple of clay layers down here in the cellar, and we're in what would be the western chamber of a two-chamber cellar that we're working on. So we found a couple of neat artifacts. One of the latest things to come out is part of a Bartman jug medallion that mends to a couple of other big pieces we found in that same layer. As we finished the clay layer and got all of that removed, we started to see hundreds of animal bones scattered across the top of the next layer. There's at least 3 different species here of animal that we're seeing, including some bird bones, parts to pig, including ribs and teeth, and then sturgeon scutes.
So Mariana just showed you some of those sturgeon bones that we're finding here on the floor of the cellar. And sturgeon are a fascinating fish species. They've been on the planet for nearly 250 million years. So very much a prehistoric species. They used to thrive in the James River. They are an anadromous fish. That is, they're like salmon where they travel up the river to spawn in the fresher water near the fall line at what is today Richmond. And they spend much of their life out at sea. But finding these sturgeon here in this particular cellar is interesting because it shows that by the 16 teens, when we think this cellar was filled in, sturgeon were still an integral part of the colonist diet. We find them in huge amounts in those early features from 1607 through 1610, but here to have them a little later on is exciting to see. So one of the things we can do with these sturgeon remains is we can work with ichthyologists, which are fish biologists, to examine what the sturgeon population of the Chesapeake Bay was like 400 years ago. So we are working with several scientists and learning all sorts of new data about the historic population. Now the modern population, unfortunately, is very much endangered. They are listed in the James River as a federally endangered species. So these biologists are doing everything within their powers to protect the remaining sturgeon population. Part of that includes researching the archaeological record here at James Fort.